Bitola, known also by several alternative names, is a city in the southwestern part of the Republic of Macedonia. The city is an administrative, cultural, industrial, commercial, and educational center. It is located in the southern part of the Pelagonia Valley, surrounded by the Barber, Nidže and Kajmakčalan mountain ranges, 14 kilometers north of the Medžitlija-Níki and Aegean border crossing with Greece. It is an important junction connecting the south of the Adriatic Sea with the Aegean Sea in Central Europe. It has been known since the Ottoman period as the city of the consuls, since many European countries have consulates in Bitola. According to the 2002 census, Bitola is the second largest city in the country. Bitola is also the seat of the Bitola Municipality. Bitola is one of the oldest cities on the territory of the Republic of Macedonia. It was founded as Heraclea Lyncestis in the middle of the 4th century BC by Philip II of Macedon. During the Ottoman rule, the city was the last capital of Ottoman Rumelia. Etymology: according to Adrian Rum, the name Bitola is derived from the Old Church Slavonic word nth plus or minus thinnpo, as the city was formerly noted for its monastery. When the meaning of the name was no longer understood, it lost its prefix o. The name Bitola is mentioned in the Bitola inscription, related to the old city fortress built in 1015. Modern Slavic variants include the Macedonian Bitola, the Serbian Bitolj and Bulgarian Bitolia. In Byzantine times, the name was Hellenized to ๊bitɔ噚a right lion or ๊bitɔ噚a, hence the names Bitola used by William of Tyre and Butuli by the Arab geographer al-Idrisi. The Aramean name is Bitola. The Greek name for the city, also meaning monastery, is a calque of the Slavic name. The Turkish name Manastır plus or minus is derived from the Greek name, like the Albanian name. Geography: Bitola is located in the southwestern part of Macedonia. The Draga River flows through the city. Bitola lies at an elevation of 615 meters above sea level, at the foot of Barber Mountain. Its magnificent Pelagonia mountain is a national park with exquisite flora and fauna, among which the rarest species of pine, known as Macedonian pine or Pinus peuce, as well as a well-known ski resort. Covering an area of 1,798 km2 and with a population of 122,173, Bitola is an important industrial, agricultural, commercial, educational, and cultural center. It represents an important junction that connects the Adriatic Sea to the south with the Aegean Sea in Central Europe. Climate, history. Prehistory: Bitola is very rich in monuments from the prehistoric period. Two important ones are Veluakartumba and Baratumba near the village of Borodin. From the Copper Age there are the settlements of Tumba near the village of Krnobuki, Angstrom Uplavek near the village of Suvodol, and Vizerkvid near the village of Bukhari. The Bronze Age is represented by the settlements of Tumba near the village of Kanano and the settlement with the same name near the village of Karamani. Ancient and early Byzantine periods: the area of the town is located in ancient Lyncestis, a region of Upper Macedonia, which was ruled by semi-independent chieftains till the later Argead rulers of Macedon. The tribes of Lyncestis were known as Lyncesti. They were a Greek tribe and belonged to the Molossian group of the Epirotes. There are important metal artifacts from the ancient period at the necropolis of Krigvish near the village of Beronci. A golden earring dating from the 4th century BC is depicted on the obverse of the Macedonian 10-dinar banknote, issued in 1996. Heraclea Lyncestis was an important settlement from the Hellenistic period till the early Middle Ages. It was founded by Philip II of Macedon by the middle of the 4th century BC, and named after the Greek demigod Heracles, whom Philip considered his ancestor. With its strategic location, it became a prosperous city. The Romans conquered this part of Macedon in 148 BC and destroyed the political power of the city. However, its prosperity continued mainly due to the Roman viaduct Egnatia Road which passed near the city. Several monuments from the Roman times remain in Heraclea, including a portico, thermae, an amphitheatre and a number of basilicas. The theatre was once capable of housing an audience of around 3,000 people. In the early Byzantine period Heraclea was an important episcopal centre. Some of its bishops were mentioned in the Acts of the Church Councils, including Bishop of Ogrius of Heraclea in the Acts of the Sardica Council of 343 AD. A small and a great basilica, the bishop's residence, and a funeral basilica near the necropolis are some of the remains of this period. 3 naves in the great basilica are covered with mosaics of very rich floral and figurative iconography. These well-preserved mosaics are often regarded as fine examples of the early Christian art period. During the 4th and 6th centuries, the names of other bishops from Heraclea were recorded. The city was sacked by Ostrogothic forces, commanded by Theodoric the Great in 472 and, despite a large gift to him from the city's bishop, it was sacked again in 479. It was restored in the late 5th and early 6th centuries. In the late 6th century the city suffered successive attacks by Slavic tribes and was gradually abandoned. Middle Ages. In the 6th and 7th centuries, the region around Bitola experienced a demographic shift as more and more Slavic tribes settled in the area. In place of the deserted theatre, several houses were built during that time. The Slavs also built a fortress around their settlement. Bitola became a part of the First Bulgarian Empire from late in the 8th to early 11th centuries. The spread of Christianity was assisted by Saint Clement of Ohrid and Naum of Preslav in the 9th and early 10th centuries. Many monasteries and churches were built in the city. In the 10th century, Bitola was under the rule of the Bulgarian Tsar Samuel. He built a castle in the town, later used by his successor Gavril Radomir of Bulgaria. The town is mentioned in several medieval sources. John Skylitz's 11th-century chronicle mentions that Emperor Basil II burned Gavril's castles in Bitola, when passing through and ravaging Pelagonia. The second Chrysobull of Basil II mentioned that the bishop of Bitola depended on the archbishopric of Ohrid. During the reign of Samuel, the city was an important center in the Bulgarian state and the seat of the Bitola bishopric. In many medieval sources, especially Western, the name Pelagonia was synonymous with the Bitola bishopric, and in some of them Bitola was known under the name of Heraclea due to the church tradition that turned the Heraclea bishopric into the Pelagonian metropolitan's diocese. In 1015, Tsar Gavril Radomir was killed by his cousin Ivan Vladislav, who declared himself Tsar and rebuilt the city fortress. To celebrate the occasion, a stone inscription written in the Cyrillic alphabet was set in the fortress. In it the Slavic name of the city is mentioned, Bitola. Following battles with the Tsar Ivan Vladislav, Byzantine Emperor Basil II recaptured Monastery in 1015. The town is mentioned as an episcopal center in 1019 in a record by Basil II. 2 important uprisings against Byzantine rule took place in the Bitola area in 1040 and 1072. After the Bulgarian state was restored in the late 11th century, Bitola was incorporated under the rule of Tsar Kaloyan of Bulgaria. It was conquered again by Byzantium at the end of the 13th century, but it became part of Serbia in the first half of the 14th century, after the conquests of Stefan Dusan. As a military, political and cultural center, Bitola played a very important role in the life of the medieval society in the region, prior to the Ottoman conquest in the mid-14th century. On the eve of the Ottoman conquest, Bitola experienced great growth with its well-established trading links all over the Balkan Peninsula, especially with big economic centers like Constantinople, Thessalonica, Ragusa and Tarnovo. Caravans of various goods moved to and from Bitola. Ottoman rule. From 1382 to 1912, Monastir ± was part of the Ottoman Empire. Fierce battles took place near the city during the arrival of Turkish forces. Turkish rule was completely established after the death of Prince Marko in 1395 when Ottoman Empire established the Sancak of Ohrid as a part of the Rumelia Eyalet and one of earliest established Sancaks in Europe. Before it became part of the Ottoman Empire in 1395 its initial territory belonged to the realm of Prince Marko. Initially its county town was Bitola and later it was Ohrid, so it was initially sometimes referred to as Sancak of Monastir or Sancak of Bitola. For several centuries, Turks were a majority in this city, while the villages were populated mostly with Slavs. Ivia Elby says in his book of travels that the city had 70 mosques, several coffee tea rooms, a bazaar with iron gates and 900 shops. Monastir ± became a Sonjak center in the Rumelia. After the Austro-Ottoman Wars, the trade development and the overall thriving of the city was stifled. But in late 19th century, it became the second biggest city in the wider southern Balkan region after Salonika. The city is also known as City of Consuls, because 12 diplomatic consuls resided here from 1878 to 1913. In 1874, Monastir ± became the center of Monastir Vilayet, which included the Sonjaks of Debra, Safids, Elbasan, Monastir ± Gar Paragraph Rice and towns of Kar ± Caova, Plep, Florina, Kisrai and Gravina. Traditionally a strong trading center, Bitola is also known as the City of the Consuls. At one time during the Ottoman rule, Bitola had consulates from 12 countries. During the same period, there were a number of prestigious schools in the city, including a military academy that, among others, was attended by the famous Turkish reformer Kemal Atatürk. Bitola was also the headquarters of many cultural organizations that were established at that time. There are opposing ethnographic data from that period, but it appears that no specific ethnic or religious group could claim an absolute majority of the population. According to the 1911 Ottoman census, Greeks were the largest Christian population in the Vilayet, with 740,000 Greeks, 517,000 Bulgarians and 1,061,000 Muslims in the vilayets of Selanik and Monastir ± However, it should be noted that the basis of the Ottoman censuses was the millet system. People were assigned an ethnicity according to their religion. So all Sunni Muslims were categorized as Turks, although many of them were Albanians, and all members of the Greek Orthodox Church as Greeks, although their numbers included a vast majority of Aromanians, South Albanians, and some Macedonian Slavs. The rest were divided between Bulgarian and Serb Orthodox churches. Bitola unregistered trademark S population itself was very various. It numbered some 50,000 at the end of the 19th century. There were around 7,000 Aromanians, most of whom fully embraced the Hellenist ideas, although many of them joined the Romanian idea. Bitola also had significant Muslim population, 11,000, as well Jewish community, 5,200. The Slavic speakers were divided between the Bulgarian Exarchate, 8,000, and the Greek Patriarchate, 6,300. In 1894, Monastir ± was connected with Selanik by train. The first motion picture made in the Balkans was recorded by the Aromanian Manikis brothers in Monastir ± in 1903. In their honor, the annual Maniki Brothers International Film Camera Festival is held in modern Bitola. In November 1905, the Secret Committee for the Liberation of Albania, a secret organization to fight for the liberation of Albania from the Ottoman Empire, was founded by Bajo Topoli and other Albanian nationalists and intellectuals. 3 years later, the Congress of Monastir of 1908, which defined the modern Albanian alphabet, was held in the city. Alinden Uprising. The Bitola region was a stronghold of the Alinden Uprising. The uprising was started as decided in 1903 in Thessaloniki by the Internal Macedonian Revolutionary Organization. The uprising in the Bitola region was planned in Smilevo village in May 1903. The battles were fought in the villages of Bistrica, Rakovo, Buf, Skosivir, Paralevo, Brod, Novasi, Smilevo, Kjavato, Kaperi and others. Smilevo was defended by 600 rebels led by Dame Gruev and Georgi Sujarith, but when they were defeated, villages were burned. Balkan Wars. In 1912, Montenegro, Serbia, Bulgaria and Greece fought the Ottomans in the First Balkan War. According to the Treaty of Bucharest, 1913, the region of Macedonia was divided in 3 parts among Greeks, Serbs and Bulgarians. Bitola was to be in Bulgaria, according to a pre-war alliance agreement between Bulgaria and Serbia. But the Serbian army entered the city and refused to hand it to Bulgaria. From that moment, the city started to lose its importance and the population started rapidly decreasing, emigrating outside Macedonia and to the New World. World War I. During World War I, Bitola was on the Thessaloniki front line. In 1915 Bulgarian forces took the city and the Serb forces were forced to either surrender or try a dangerous escape through the Albanian mountains. In 1916, Bitola was occupied by the Allied powers, which entered the city from the south, fighting the Bulgarian army. Bitola was divided into French, Russian, Italian and Serbian regions, under the command of French General Maurice Areil. Until Bulgaria's surrender in late autumn 1918, Bitola remained a frontline city and was almost every day bombarded by airplanes and battery and suffered almost total destruction. World War II. During the World War II, the Germans and later Bulgarians took control of the city. But in September 1944, Bulgaria switched sides in the war and withdrew from Yugoslavia, and Bitola was freed by Macedonian pro-Titoist partisans. On November 4, the 7th Macedonian Liberation Brigade entered Bitola victoriously. After the end of the war, a Macedonian state was established for the first time in modern history, within Yugoslavia. This had cost about 25,000 human lives. In 1945, the first gymnasium to use the Macedonian language was opened in Bitola. Jewish community. After the expulsion of 1492, Spanish-speaking Jews, harassed and persecuted by the Inquisition, were invited by Sultan Bayezid II to the Ottoman territories and arrived in waves from the Iberian Peninsula. A majority settled in Salonika, but a large community grew in Monastir and made up over 10% of the city's population in 1900. The local Jewish population referred to themselves as Monastirli, and a Monastirli synagogue exists to this day in modern Thessaloniki. There was little evidence of anti-Semitism among other local communities. The Jews and the Aromanians were the only communities who did not make a national claim on Macedonian territory and were generally seen as neutral in these disputes. Most Jews of Monastir were murdered during the Holocaust, and at present none remain in the city. Many descendants of the Jewish community of Monastir made their way during the 20th century to Indianapolis, Indiana, and Rochester, New York, both in the United States. 1. 2. Main sites. The city has many historical buildings dating from many historical periods. The most notable ones are from the Ottoman age, but there are some from the more recent past. Angstrom-i-Roke-Sokak. Angstrom-i-Roke-Sokak is a long pedestrian street that runs from Magnolia Square to the city park. Clock Tower. It is unknown when Bitola's clock tower was built. Written sources from the 16th century mention a clock tower, but it is not clear if it is the same one. Some believe it was built at the same time as St. Demetria's Church, in 1830. Legend says that the Ottoman authorities collected around 60,000 eggs from nearby villages and mixed them in the mortar to make the walls stronger. The tower has a rectangular base and is about 30 meters high. Near the top is a rectangular terrace with an iron fence. On each side of the fence is an iron console construction which holds the lamps for lighting the clock. The clock is on the highest of 3 levels. The original clock was replaced during World War II with a working one, given by the Nazis because the city had maintained German graves from World War I. The massive tower is composed of walls, massive spiral stairs, wooden mezzanine constructions, pendentives and a dome. During the construction of the tower, the 4-section aid was simultaneously decorated with simple stone plastic. Church of St. Demetrius. The Church of St. Demetrius was built in 1830 with voluntary contributions of local merchants and craftsmen. It is plain on the outside, as all churches in the Ottoman Empire had to be, but of rare beauty inside, lavishly decorated with chandeliers, a carved bishop throne and an engraved iconostasis. According to some theories, the iconostasis is a work of the Magyar engravers. Its most impressive feature is the arch above the imperial quarters with modelled figures of Jesus and the apostles. Other engraved wood items include the bishop's throne made in the spirit of Magyar engravers, several icon frames and 5 more recent pillars shaped like thrones. The frescoes originate from 2 periods, the end of the 19th century, and the end of World War I to the present. The icons and frescoes were created thanks to voluntary contributions of local businessmen and citizens. The authors of many of the icons had a vast knowledge of iconography schemes of the New Testament. The icons show a great sense of color, dominated by red, green and ochre shades. The abundance of golden ornaments is noticeable and points to the presence of late Byzantine artwork and Baroque style. The icon of Saint Demetrius is signed with the initials DAZ, showing that it was made by iconographer Dimitar Andon of the Zagraf in 1889. There are many other items, including the chalices made by local masters, a Doroa Anilka of Russian origin, and several paintings of scenes from the New Testament, brought from Jerusalem by pilgrims. The opening scenes of the film The Peacemaker were shot in the St. Demetrija Church in Bitola, as well as some Welcome to Sarajevo scenes. Heraclea Lyncestis. Heraclea Lyncestis was an important ancient settlement from the Hellenistic period till the early Middle Ages. It was founded by Philip II of Macedon by the middle of the 4th century BC. Today, its ruins fall in the southern part of Bitola, 2 km from the city centre. The Covered Bazaar. Situated near the city centre, the Covered Bazaar is one of the most impressive and oldest buildings in Bitola from the Turkish period. With its numerous cupolas that look like a fortress, with its tree branch-like inner streets and 4 big metal doors, it is one of the biggest covered markets in the region. It was built in the 15th century by the Rumelian Begler Bey, the Grand Vizier and the famous donor Karađorđe Pasha Uzuncarsili. Although this object looks very secure, many times during its existence it was robbed and set on fire, but it managed to endure. The Bazisson, from the 15th to the 19th centuries, was rebuilt and many stores, often changing over time, were located there. Most of them were selling textile and other luxurious fabrics. In the same time the Bazisson was a treasury, where in specially made small rooms the money from the whole Rumelian Vilayet was kept, before it was transferred in the royal treasury. In the Bazisson in the 19th century there were a total of 84 stores. Today most of them are contemporary and they sell different types of products, but no matter what the internal transformations, the outer appearance stayed unchanged. Ardakadi Mosque. The Ardakadi Mosque is one of the most attractive monuments of Islamic architecture in Bitola. It was built in the early 1560s, as the project of the famous architect Mimar Sinan, ordered by the Bitola Kadija Ardakadi. Over time, it was abandoned and heavily damaged, but recent restoration and conservation has restored to some extent its original appearance. Genai Mosque. The Genai Mosque is located in the center of the city. It has a square base, topped with a dome. Near the mosque is a minaret, 40 m high. Today, the mosque's rooms house permanent and temporary art exhibitions. Recent archaeological excavations have revealed that it has been built upon an old church. Ishaqa Elbi Mosque. The Ishaqa Elbi Mosque is the inheritance of the Qadi Ishaqa Elbi. In its spacious yard are several tombs, attractive because of the soft, molded shapes of the sarcophagi. Coda 3/4 of Qadi Mosque. The Old Bazaar. The Old Bazaar is mentioned in a description of the city from the 16th and the 17th centuries. The present Bazisson does not differ much in appearance from the original one. The Bazisson had 86 shops and 4 large iron gates. The shops used to sell textiles, and today sell food products. cábúch bath. The cábúch bath is a Turkish bath. It is not known when exactly it was constructed. At one point, it was heavily damaged, but after repairs it regained its original appearance, a beautiful 4-section nave, 2 large domes and several minor ones. Bitola today. Bitola is the economic and industrial center of southwestern Macedonia. Many of the largest companies in the country are based in the city. The Pelagonia Agricultural Combine is the largest producer of food in the country. The Stria 3/4 Evo water system is the largest in the Republic of Macedonia and has the best technological facilities. The 3 thermoelectric power stations of Heraclea Bitola produced nearly 80% of electricity in the state. The Frinko refrigerate factory was a leading electrical and metal company. Bitola also has significant capacity in the textile and food industries. Bitola is also home to 12 consulates, which gives the city the nickname the City of Consuls. General consulates, a Bulgaria, a Greece, honorary consulates, a Austria, a Bosnia and Herzegovina, a France, a Hungary, a Montenegro, a Romania, a Russia, a Serbia, a Turkey, a Ukraine, former consulates, a Croatia, a Slovenia, a United Kingdom. Also, Albania and Italy expressed interest in opening a consulate in Bitola. Media: there are 2 Bitola television stations, Tira and Orbeez, 2 regional radio stations, the private Radio 105, Actual Bombarda and Radio Delphin, as well as a local weekly newspaper in a Bitola Vesnik. City Council. The Bitola Municipality Council is the governing body of the city and municipality of Bitola. The City Council approves and rejects projects that would have place inside the municipality given by its members and the mayor of Bitola. The council consists of representatives of citizens elected by direct and free elections. The number of members of the council shall be determined according to the number of residents in the community and cannot be less than 9 nor more than 33 members. Accordingly, the number of residents, the Council of Bitola Municipality is composed of 31 councillors. Council members are elected for a term of 4 years. Council members represent the citizens and the council makes decisions on their own beliefs. Member of the council may not be revoked. Led by the municipal council president. President of the council shall be elected from among the members of the council, for a term of 4 years. Council president is the candidate who receives a majority of votes of the total number of council members. Council of the Municipality of Bitola in office 2009 to 2013 consists of representatives of 5 political parties: VMRO-DPMNE, 17, SDSM, 9, VMRO-NP, 2, PODEM, 1 and Liberal Democratic Party of Macedonia, 2. Examining matters within its competence, the council set up committees. Council committees are formed as permanent and temporary. Permanent committees of the Council: Finance and Budget Committee, Commission for Public Utilities, Committee on Urban Planning, Public Works and Environmental Protection, Commission for Social Activities, Commission for Local Government, Commission to mark holidays, events and award certificates and awards. Sports: the most popular sports in Bitola are football and handball. The main football team is FK Pelagonia and they play at the Tumcave Stadium, which is a capacity of 8,000. Georgi Hristov, Dragan Kanatlarovsky, Tony Mysovsky, Nikolai Noveski, Tony Savevsky and Mitko Staukovsky are some of the famous Bitola natives to start their careers with the club. The main handball club and most famous sports team from Bitola is RK Pelagonia. RK Bitola is the second club from the city and both teams play their games at the sports hall Mladost. In the Macedonian Second League, FK Novasi are competing, which is located in the region of Bitola. All the sports teams under the name Pelagonia are supported by the fans known as Ali Kemberi. Demography: ethnic groups. According to the 1948 census, Bitola had 30,761 inhabitants. 77.2% were Macedonians, 11.5% were Turks, 4.3% were Albanians, 3% were Serbs and 1.3% were Aromanians. As of 2002, the city of Bitola has 74,550 inhabitants and the ethnic composition is the following. Language: according to the 2002 census, the most common languages in the city are the following. Religion: Bitola is a bishopric city and the seat of the diocese of Pelagonia. In World War II the diocese was named Ohrid, Bitola. With the restoration of the autocephaly of the Macedonian Orthodox Church in 1967, it got its present name Pelagonia Diocese, which covers the following regions and cities: Bitola, Rezin, Prilep, Krusevo and Dermia Hazar. The first bishop of the diocese was Mr. Clement. The second and current bishop and administrator of the diocese, responsible as bishop since 1981, is Mr. Bitola. The Pelagonia Diocese has about 500 churches and monasteries. In the last 10 years in the diocese have been built or are being built about 40 churches and 140 church buildings. The diocese has 2 church museums: the Cathedral St. Marta Demetrius in Bitola and at the Church St. John in Krusevo, and permanent exhibition of icons and libraries in the building of the seat of the diocese. The seat building was built between 1901 and 1902 and is one of the most beautiful examples of the Baroque architecture. Besides the dominant Macedonian Orthodox Church in Bitola, there are other major religious groups such as the Islamic community, the Roman Catholic Church and others. According to the 2002 census, the religious composition of the city is the following. Bitola's Cathedral of the Sacred Heart of Jesus is the co-cathedral of the Roman Catholic Diocese of Skopje. Culture, Manicky Festival of Film and Camera, is the oldest film festival in the world who value the work of cinematographers. In memories of the first cameramen on the Balkans, Milton Manicky, every September the Film and Photo Festival Brothers Manicky takes place. It is a combination of documentary and full-length films that are being shown. The festival is a world-class event and it is a must-see. Every year the festival brings world-recognized actors including Catherine Deneuve, Isabel Huppert, Victoria Abril, Predrag Manulovic, Michael York. Alindenski Denovi. Every year, the traditional folk festival Alinden Days takes place in Bitola. It is a 4 to 5 day festival of music, songs, and dances that is dedicated to the Alinden uprising against the Turks, where the main concentration is placed on the folk culture of Macedonia. Folk dances and songs are presented with many folklore groups and organizations taking part in it. Small Montmartre of Bitola. In the last few years, the art manifestation Small Montmartre of Bitola that is organized by the art studio Kirill and Metodich has turned into a successful children's art festival. Children from all over the world come to express their imagination through art, creating important and priceless art that is presented in the country and around the world. Small Montmartre of Bitola is a winner of numerous awards and nominations. Bitolino. Bitolino is an annual children's theatre festival held in August with the Babe Theatre. Every year professional children's theatres from all over the world participate in the festival. The main prize is the Grand Prix for Best Performance. cáidu. Every May, Bitola hosts the International Children's Song Festival cáidu, which in recent years has gained much popularity. Children from all over Europe participate in this event, which usually consists of about 20 songs. This festival is supported by Pro Media, which organizes the event with a new topic each year. Many Macedonian musicians have participated in the festival, including Next Time and Carolina Gusva, who both represented Macedonia at the Eurovision Song Contest. Festival for Classical Music Interfest. It is an international festival dedicated mainly to classical music where many creative and reproductive artists from all over the world take place. In addition to the classical music concerts, there are also few nights for pop modern music, theatre plays, art exhibitions, and a day for literature presentation during the event. In the last few years there have been artists from Russia, Slovakia, Poland, and many other countries. For the reason of Bitola being called the city with most pianos, there is one night of the festival dedicated to piano competitions. One award is given for the best young piano player, and another for competitors under 30. Acto Festival. The Acto Festival for Contemporary Arts is a regional festival. The festival includes visual arts, performing arts, music and theory of culture. The first Acto Festival was held in 2006. The aim of the festival is to open the cultural frameworks of a modern society through recomposing and redefining them in a new context. In the past, the festival featured artists from regional countries like Slovenia, Greece or Bulgaria, but also from Germany, Italy, France and Austria. International Monodrama Festival is annual festival of monodrama held in April in organization of Center of Culture of Bitola. Every year many actors from all over the world come in Bitola to play monodramas. Locum Fest is authentic cultural and tourist event which has existed since 2007. Founder and organizer of the festival is the Association of Citizens Center for Cultural Decontamination Bitola. The festival is held every year in mid-July in the heart of the Old Turkish Bazaar in Bitola, as part of Bitola Cultural Summer Bitfest. Education. St. Clement of Ohrid University of Bitola was founded in 1979, as a result of dispersed processes that occurred in education in the 1970s, and increasing demand of highly skilled professionals outside the country's capital. Since 1994, it has carried the name of the Slavic educator St. Clement of Ohrid. The university has institutes in Bitola, Ohrid, and Prilep, and headquarters in Bitola. With its additions in education and science, it has established itself, and cooperates with University of St. Cyril and Methodius from Skopje and other universities in the Balkans and Europe. The following institutes and scientific organizations are part of the university: Technical Faculty or Bitola, Economical Faculty or Prilip, Faculty of Tourism and Leisure Management Ohrid, Teachers Faculty or Bitola, Faculty of Biotechnological Sciences Bitola, Faculty of Administration and Management of Information Systems Bitola, Medical Collegia Bitola, Faculty of Veterinary Sciences Bitola, Tobacco Institute Prilip, Hydrobiological Institute Ohrid, Slavic Cultural Institute Prilip. There are 7 high schools in Bitola: Josip Broz Tito, a gymnasium; Taki Daskalo, a gymnasium; Dr. Jovan Kalorzi, a medical high school; Jane Sandansky, an economical high school; Gjorgi Normov, a technological high school; Kuzma Angstrom Apkariv, an agricultural high school; Toi Proski, a musical high school; 10 primary schools in Bitola: Todor Angelovsky, Sivert Clement Oritsky, Gagdelev, Elpidika Ramondi, Dame Gruov, Kirill Imitadij, Kolkaninsky, Trifon Panovsky, Stiv Normov, Gjorgi Sujarith. People from Bitola. Some notable people born in Bitola are: Ari Demirovsky, died 2009 in Turkey, was an ethnic Turkish singer. Carolina Goaeva, pop singer; Dimitar Ilievsky Murato, first Macedonian to climb Mount Everest; Miljan Miljania, football coach; Nikolai Noveski, footballer; Georgi Sujarith, IMRO revolutionary. Twin towns are sister cities. Bitola participates in town twinning to foster good international relations. Its current partners include: Gallery. References. Bibliography: Basil Gounaris, From Peasants into Urbanites, From Village into Nation, Ottoman Monastir in the Early 20th Century, European History Quarterly 31-1, ppA 43 €63 online copy, external links, Bitola Municipality official page, Bitola Municipality official info page, Bitola, Gallery, the Bitola Museum, Tourist Info Center, Tourist Info web portal, The Story of the Jewish Community in Monastir, an online exhibition by Yad Vashem, The Story of the Jewish Community in Monastir, an online exhibition by Yad Vashem.